Welcome to
Hey Tiger, how are you, hon? Good to see you. I know you glad to be off work. KK, if you happen to watch this later, happy birthday, hon. The 3 month old went for his checkup yesterday, and y'all know that he's born with 2 heart murmurs. I hear you, Tiger. Uh-oh. Is that better? Can y'all hear me better now? Hello? Good deal. Alright. Did y'all hear me about the baby? Could y'all understand that? don't know what's going on. Can y'all hear me now? He went to the doctor yesterday, and um, his both heart murmurs and the tumor is gone. And people can say what they want to, but there's a miracle. Absolutely. I have no clue. I have no clue why they would do so, especially when that's good news. That ain't bashing nobody. So, how's y'all's day been? I know Tigers is busy trying to get ready for the weekend. It's crazy. Hmm. I don't know. No, my weekend will be spent here at the house. I'm sorry, David. On this date, 20, 25 years ago, I got murdered. Yep. Hey, Elusive, how you doing, hon? Murdered. You know, where you walk down the aisle and say that them two words. Ah, I'm glad you made it, Elusive. Imagine you are beat. How long did it take y'all to make it there, Elusive? I know when we was looking at it when I was going to go, it was going to be something like 15 hours, I think it was. If I'd left from my house and went 21 hours, wow. Not there yet, but in Missouri. Jeez Louise. I'm glad y'all in Missouri, though. I know a lot of people's getting geared up and either have left or, getting things ready to leave. I know our temps was over 100 today. Right, elusive. I'll be going to Savannah tomorrow. Mojo. I'm surprised Doc ain't up there yet. Wait until tomorrow. I know some were gonna be able to stay the whole time, and some was only gonna be able to be there like a day or so. Yeah, definitely be safe in travels. Oh yeah, yeah. Damn, David. Gotta love them allergies. Leaving Sunday by noon. Yeah. Uh oh. Okay, there we go. I don't know if it's StreamYard, YouTube, or my internet. One of them's acting the fool. I don't even have an account for that, David. But I do know that from the way they make it sound, it's gonna be a fun weekend. So I know it's gonna be a quiet weekend here on the tube. Unless y'all live stream it. They all heading for Missouri this weekend, David. Originally, I was supposed to have left the house today and made it to South Carolina, but Good deal, Tiger. I know you was worried about that. Oh, I know, Willow. You never know, David. I might do that. But I'm sure that with as many creators as Zombie there, that there'll be plenty doing live streams. Ugh. As soon as I finish the cigarette, we'll get started. And I go blow my nose. No, Tiger, but I could start a stream and send you the link. You could set us up on the log next to you around the campfire. Oh. So we got one having surgery next Thursday. One that's been throwing up for months now. We thought it was, his gallbladder. Apparently, the doctors has decided it's something to do with his sinuses. So they sending him to ear, nose, and throat doctor. All right, Tiger. Tiger, with StreamYard, it don't matter how many subs you have. If you use YouTube, you have to have 50 subs. Okay, maybe now I can quit sniffling in y'all's ear. Hey, Yankee, how are you? Uh-oh, Yankee, what's happening? With 59 subs, Tiger, you should be able to go live through StreamYard, but you'll still have to set it up through your YouTube. Go into your YouTube channel, and you'll see where it says do a live. And you click on it. You have to do it 24 hours before you want to go live for the first time, though. Oh no, Yankee, I hate to hear that. I'm so sorry. That sucks. I'd be pissed off too. All right, Tiger. Oh yeah. That yeah. That's really fucked up. Yankee, I really do hate to hear that. I know how much you were looking forward to going. Oh, potato salad. Oh, Tiger, why you want to do me that way? You know you don't have to make a wash tub full to be able to feed everybody. Yeah, you did, Tiger. I seen you. Oh, I don't blame you, Tiger. I put some back too. Yeah, y'all definitely take pictures. So, I was going through the news earlier, in which I knew Potato Head, speaking of potatoes, did you use his head for potatoes, Tiger? Press conference today about the oil and gas and you know. By the way, they're talking about a tax free weekend for gas. Right, Tiger, it is rotten. Um, but this is what I come across on Fox News, and we don't get the Wednesday preparedness. But this is from FoxNews.com, so take it with a grain of salt. Y'all know that as good as I do. Sick. Potato Head alarms Twitter with his cryptic comments. Here we go again. Some conservatives accuse the president of trying to interfere with the midterm elections. During presidential remarks on jabs for little ones, that better, David? For little ones, Potato Head alarmed Twitter users when he spoke of the government preparing for a second pandemic. A reporter prompted Potato Head during head turning remarks with a question on what spending the U.S. government is still prepared to do in order to manufacture and distribute more oops, more jabs and maintain the infrastructure necessary to combat as it lingers throughout the country. Last week, the Center and FDA authorized emergency use of jab for little ones as young as 6 months old. I know you're looking for more money from Congress for this jab campaign and for funding going into the fall. The reporter told Potato Head before asking how much of the supply jabs for these little ones is there, and how many of the nation's little ones will you be able to get jabbed before you need more money from Congress? Potato Head responded, well, we'll get through at least this year, before stating we do need more money, but we don't need just more money for jabs for little ones eventually. We need more money to plan for the second pandemic. Potato Head reinforced his revelation. There's going to be another pandemic. We have to think ahead. For good measure, he slammed the T-Man administration and propped up his own, saying that, and that's not something the last outfit did very well. That's something we've been doing fairly well. That's why we need the money. Hmm. So is old Potato Head showing the cards a little too early, guys? I mean, you know, sounds like it to me. What y'all think? Can y'all hear me? Y'all went quiet on me. Knock, knock. Hello? Oh, okay. I just, I didn't know if what had happened there. Couple of weeks, I've been hitting kind of hard on the um um they had I had a pretty bad one over in Afghanistan. At least 1,000 killed and 15 others injured after a magnitude 5.9 earthquake rocked the remote parts of eastern Afghanistan and neighboring Pakistan. The death toll from a powerful earthquake in Afghanistan has climbed to 1,000, with more than 1,500 others wounded, according to the Taliban's the Culture and Information Department, as rescuers try to reach the site of the disaster in remote Paktika and Khost provinces. The United States Geological Survey, or USGS as we all know it, said the magnitude of the earthquake in the early hours of Wednesday was 5.9, revising an initial estimate at 6.1. The epicenter of the tremor was about 46 kilometers or 27 miles from the city of Khost, near the Pakistani border, said the USGS. People were digging grave after grave, said Muhammad Amin Huzaifa. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce that last name. And this is off Al Jazeera English. Head of the Information and Cultural Department in hard hit Paktika. It is raining also, and all the houses are destroyed. People are still trapped under the rubble, he told journalists. Earlier, Interior Ministry official, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name, guys. I would butcher it. Earlier said the death toll was likely to rise as some of the villages are in remote areas in the mountains and it will take time to collect details. A tribal leader from Paktika province said survivors were mobilizing to help those affected. The local markets are closed and all people have rushed to the affected areas, he told AFP news agency by telephone. So, that was this morning. And what was it, yesterday they had one in Taiwan? I mean, there's been several. There was some up in Yellowstone. I agree, Willow Bug. That's what we uncovered today. Especially since, I mean, it's a good thing to do anyway, but I'd never really worried about earthquakes until we have one not that far from me this week. I can honestly say, to my knowledge, I've never been in a confirmed earthquake. Notice I said confirmed there. I pulled up the USGS earthquake maps. And of course, it always shows. I hadn't either, Willow. When you first type in the USGS, it pops up map of the US from Alaska, the whole US and Hawaii and Mexico down to the top portion of South America. And on the map, it shows quakes within, I want to say it's the last 24 hours on the map itself. And over on the left, you have, a column that you can scroll through that shows, earthquakes. And what it's got lit. Hey, Bear Truth, how are you? It is hot as I'll get out, Jeff. How are you doing, hon? Glad to see you. But for today, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. And that's ranging from Alaska all the way down to Colombia. You've got one up here in Denali Park, Alaska, was a 3.0. There was one in Hawaii, which was a 2.5. One in Borrego Springs, California, which was a 2.7. I know, right? I hadn't seen you in a while. I need to get my butt over there and talk to you. You know how life is, it keeps you busy sometimes. One in Alamo, Nevada, 2.6. Let's see. One in White City, New Mexico, 2.9. One in Toyah, Texas, a 2.8. And guys, those two are practically on top of each other from the way it looks on the map, I know it's two separate states. Then you've got three on top of each other down here in Puerto Rico. A 2.6. It's not going to let me pull up the other two because they're on top of each other. And then one in Ecuador was a 4.8. You just placed my voice. That's scary. Is that good or bad, Bear? And like I said, that's just, in our region of the world. Oh, you just can't play. Ah, gotcha. You know, I've dealt with not earthquakes. Wondering now. I do lives on my channel. I've been on Ghost channel. I've been on Off Wall Preppers channel, Prepper Tribe, Hutch, Backwoods, Sophia Bees, uh, In Between Prepping, and Ghetto Prepper. No, it's not TJ. I live about 4 hours south of TJ. I know her sister-in-law has a similar name to mine. Her sister-in-law is Georgia Peach, I believe it is. May very well be. I'm down in southeast Georgia, about 45 minutes north of Waycross. Um, y'all know we were talking about earthquakes with the new Madrid seismic zone, which is, they say earthquakes along the New Madrid is way worse than the ones out in like California. I am round about an hour south of Glenville, Bear. So I figured I'd pull up the New Madrid fault and we'd discuss it. When people think of earthquakes in the U.S., they tend to think about the West Coast. All right, Bear. You probably do. I've been over on your channel and a couple of others before. But earthquakes also happen in the eastern and central U.S. until 2014, when the dramatic increase in earthquake rates gave Oklahoma the #1 ranking in the continental U.S., the most seismically active area east of the Rocky Mountains was in the Mississippi area valley known as the New Madrid seismic zone. Since 1974, seismometers instruments that measure ground shaking have recorded thousands of small to moderate earthquakes. The faults that produce earthquakes are not easy to see at the surface in the New Madrid region because they are eroded by river processes and deeply buried by river sediment. A map of the earthquake epicenters, however, reflects faulting at depth and shows that the earthquakes define several branches of the New Madrid seismic zone in northeastern Arkansas, southwestern Kentucky, southeastern Missouri, and northwestern Tennessee. Other relatively young faults, which are not necessarily associated with the recent earthquakes or the main seismicity trend in the New Madrid region, are shown on this map, and it shows a map. No, you good, Bear. I've been in your chat. I think I met you actually through Lake Ferry. I think that's the chat that we originally met in. It shows 20 localities where geologists have found and published their findings on faults or evidence of large earthquakes from sand blows. In the winter of 1811 and 1812, the New Madrid seismic zone generated a sequence of earthquakes that lasted for several months and included 3 very large earthquakes estimated to be between magnitude 7 and 8. The 3 largest 1811, 1812 earthquakes destroyed several settlements along damage as far as New Orleans, Louisiana. In the New Madrid region, the earthquakes dramatically affected the landscape. They caused bank failures along the Mississippi River, landslides along Chickasaw Bluffs in Kentucky and Tennessee, and upper floodplain. One such uplift related to faulting near New Madrid, Missouri, temporarily forced the Mississippi River to flow backwards. In addition, the earthquakes liquefied subsurface sediment over a large area and at great dangers and violent venting of water and sediment. One account of this phenomena stated that the Pismacott Bayou blew up for a distance of nearly 50 miles. I don't know JW. I've heard of him, but uh, I remember one time we were in in Lake's chat, and you was wanting me to go up on panel with you. It's all right, Bear. You good? No problem. No problem. After the earthquake of 1811, 1812 moderated in violence, the country exhibited a melancholy aspect of chasms of sand covering the earth, of trees thrown down or lying at an angle of 45 degrees or split in the middle. The little prairie settlement was broken up. The great prairie settlement, one of the most flourishing before on the west bank of the Mississippi, was much diminished. New Madrid dwindled to insignificance and decay, the people trembling in their miserable hovels at the distant and melancholy rumbling of the approaching shocks. The New Madrid seismic zone is located in the northern part of what has been called the Mississippi Imbiet. The Mississippi Imbiet is a broad trough field with marine sedimentary rocks about 50 that include sand, silt, and clay deposited by the Mississippi, Ohio, St. Francis, and White rivers, and their tributary Johnson Valley train deposits formed during the glacial period from 10,000 to 60,000 years ago, and the Holocene is 10,000 years. Can you hear me now? Oh, yeah. Okay. If Bear wants to come up on panel, the Mississippi rocks up to 570 million years old. The Paleozoic rocks are underlain by even older rocks that appear to have been deformed about 600 million years ago. Okay, Bear, good to see you, hon. Feel free to come back by anytime. You're always welcome. You can come up on panel with me. During the process of continental rifting, a deep valley formed that is bounded by faults and known as the Reelfoot Rift. The Reelfoot Rift is identified today as a subsurface system of fractures and faults in the Earth's crust. New Madrid's seismicity is speedily associated with the Reelfoot Rift. It may be produced by movement on old faults in response to compressive stress related to plate motions. The most obvious effects of the 1811-1812 earthquakes are the large sandy deposits known as sand blows, resulting from eruption of water and sand to the ground surface. This phenomenon, called earthquake induced liquefaction, is the process by which water-saturated sandy sediment temporarily loses its strength due to the buildup of water pressure in the pores between sand grains, as seismic waves pass through the sediment. If the pore water pressure increases to the point that it equals the weight of the overlying soil, The sediment liquefies and behaves as a fluid. The resultant slurry of water, excuse me, and sediment tends to flow towards the ground surface. Soil floating on liquefied sediments moves down, even gentle slopes causing fissuring and lateral and vertical displacements. This type of landslide, known as lateral spreading, is commonly responsible for damage to infrastructure, bridges, roads, buildings during major earthquakes. Guys, I know a lot of y'all thinking, why to us? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me now? Yeah, I see that. And my 5x5. Hello? Is anybody there? Okay, there we go. I don't know because it was showing that my internet was up. But who knows? That's weird. But all right. I went to ready.gov/earthquakes to see what the government recommends for earthquake preparedness. Shall we see what they say? On the opening page, it says, an earthquake is a sudden rapid shaking of ground caused by the shifting of rocks deep underneath the Earth's surface. Earthquakes can cause fires, tsunamis, landslides, or avalanches. While they can happen anywhere without warning, areas at higher risk for earthquakes include Alaska, California, Hawaii, Oregon, Puerto Rico, Washington, and the entire Mississippi River Valley. Prepare before an earthquake. Practice drop, cover, and hold on with family and coworkers. Make an emergency plan. Create a family emergency communication plan that has an out of state contact plan, where to meet if you get separated. Make a supply kit that includes enough water and food and water for several days, a flashlight, a fire extinguisher, and a whistle. Being prepared allows you to avoid unnecessary excursions and to address minor medical issues at home, alleviating the burden on urgent care centers and hospitals. Remember that not everyone can afford to respond by stocking up on necessities. For those who can afford it, make essential purchases and slowly build up supplies. Shall I read that again, guys? Right, Tiger? But y'all heard that, right? Remember that not everyone can afford to respond by stocking up on necessities. For those who can afford it, make essential purchases and slowly build up your supplies. Are we sure this is a government website? Because it wasn't that long ago those. Never mind. Let me stop. Protect your home. Secure heavy items in your home like bookcases, refrigerators, water heaters, televisions, and objects that hang on walls. Store heavy and breakable objects on low shelves. Consider making improvements to your building to fix structural issues that could cause your building to collapse during an earthquake. Consider obtaining an earthquake insurance policy. A standard homeowner's insurance policy does not cover earthquake damage. Bingo. That's my exact thought. Okay, stay safe during. If an earthquake happens, protect yourself right away. If you're in a car, pull over and stop. Set your parking brake. If you're in bed, turn face down and cover your head and neck with a pillow. If you're outdoors, stay outdoors away from buildings. If you're inside, stay and do not run outside and avoid doorways. And then it shows a diagram of drop, cover, and hold on. And it says drop. Wherever you are, drop down your hands and knees. Hold on to something sturdy. If you're using a wheelchair or walker with a seat, make sure your wheels are locked and remain seated until the shaking stops. Cover. Cover your head and neck with your arms. If a sturdy table or desk is nearby, crawl underneath it for shelter. If no shelter is nearby, crawl next to an interior wall away from windows. Crawl only if you can reach better cover without going through an area with more debris. Stay on your knees or bend over to protect vital organs. Hold on. If you're under a table or a desk, hold on with one hand and be ready to move with it if it moves. If seated or unable to drop to the floor, bend forward, cover your head with your arms, and hold on to your neck with both hands. Then it shows, how to do so using a cane, a walker, a wheelchair. Stay safe after. There can be serious hazards after an earthquake, such as damage to the building, leaking gas, water lines, or down power lines. Wash your hands with soap and water after holding on to commonly touched surfaces or objects. If you're unable to wash hands, use hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Expect aftershocks to hold on damaged off with your shin instead of shout and use a whistle. If you are in an area that may experience tsunamis, go inland or higher ground immediately after the shaking stops. Avoid contact with floodwaters as they can contain chemicals, sewage, and debris. Check yourself to see if you're hurt and help others if you have training. If you're sick or injured and need medical attention, contact your health medical 911. How about now? Can y'all hear me now? Knock, knock. Oh, I know they don't. All right. Can y'all hear me now? Hello? 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 Can I get a 5x5? Okay. Yeah, I think so, Tiger. Thank you. I'm fixing to shut down the laptop and see if that'll help. If I don't drop the damn thing. All right, let's see if that helped. I ran a little longer than I meant to. So has anybody in chat ever been in an earthquake? I have Mediacom, David, Spectrum, but I'm not sure. Oh, dang. Been on a couple of small ones. Oh, excuse me. That was rude of me.
The first day I was back home, did you know that we eat 2 bags of popcorn and I don't remember the second one?
You know, everything I've ever read about earthquakes, it talks about, in which I've seen it with the animals. If only that would work, Dave. Like here, when there's like real bad storms fixing to come through, the animals, will start acting weird. And I've read reports from like the 1811 and 1812 earthquakes where the animals acted weird. So whether there's any truth to that or not, I don't know. I've also heard about what they call earthquake lights, which from what I read was kind of like auroras, but it was releases of gases.
Do not touch it.
Never know, David, never know. Tiger, and the few that you were in, did you notice the animals acting different before?
Yeah, well, you need something.
Can y'all tell it's time for popcorn?
You talking about me?
David told me to tell you to yell at YouTube for blocking me.
I don't give a fuck about you being blocked on YouTube.
Y'all see?
No fucks given. Hey, did the dogs eat a whole lot from what you put down there?
They eat a good bit of it.
That means my baby will be full now.
Yes, but you don't know that's why. It's true.
Don't drink it then. You ain't gotta drink it. I'm gonna put it in here. Don't drink it.
A couple of years back, I read a book. I can't even remember who wrote it, but it was on or it was wrote about an earthquake on the New Madrid fault, which it was completely made up, but it was something that could happen, based off of um, reports from previous earthquakes.
No!
And that book, that book scared me worse than any movie I've ever seen about an earthquake.
Y'all make her goddamn big, think you know everything. Why are you crying? Have I beat you? Have I touched you? No. Then stop. That's pretty good.
Yes, that was it. That was it. Bobby Ackert. I mean, it was a good book. Don't get me wrong. Prepare. You know, we prep for medical stuff. We prep food stuff. We prep water. We prep clothing. We prep communications. You know, and all those, you know, can go for earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis, big booms, you know, just about anything you can think of. But with each of those categories, can you hear me? All right, is that better? But for each of these categories, you know, you have to have things specific for these disasters because each one is unique in their own way. So, what are some things that y'all can think of that we would need in an earthquake that we wouldn't need in, let's say, a big boom scenario? Yeah, helmets would be good in an earthquake. Tigard said a split mall. Yep. Split mall axe, pipe wrench. That's right. Steel toed boots, body pads, shields. Absolutely. Metal cutter. But one thing you also gonna have to remember is you're not gonna have no electricity either. So you know that those are definitely some good prepared items. People don't think that they may have to chip their way out of where they are. That's right. Bathroom. Keith, you got drunk this morning? Uh oh. But you're right, Tiger. They don't think about they might have to chop their way out. Yes, gummies is essential. And Keith missed the whole desk conversation. Keith, we talking about earthquakes. We needed your desk. Hey, Minnie, how are you, hon? Good to see you. Y'all making me jealous. Wake and drink. Minnie, Keith, I know y'all just coming in. I wanted to give y'all an update on the 3-month old. He went for a checkup yesterday, and both of his heart murmurs have closed up, and the tumor that was on his heart has completely shrunk. Hey, Willow Bug. Absolutely, Keith, we need your desk. We need a good, strong desk. I didn't say unit, I said desk. It is. He, I tell people every day he is a miracle baby, and he truly is. I mean, all babies are miracles, but thank you, Willow Bug. Me too. I had him a good deal today, so. And much like his older brother, he loves his Nene. I'll FedEx it to you. Heck yeah. I don't know, Keith. You a little bit closer to the New Madrid fault line than I am. Yeah, yeah. We would need pillows. Yeah, Tiger. And that unnerves me. That worries me that you're right on it. Fire extinguisher is another good item to have. The New Madrid fault. Tennessee, Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri, the Mississippi River Valley. Yeah. Hey, Art Wildman, how are you, hon? Good to see you. Window breakers is another good one. We're talking about earthquakes or lock picks for doors. A lot of people have lock pick kits. Oh, Tiger, I got my other Amazon package in, the one I was telling you about. Mask is good too, yeah. That's true, David. Well, I mean, you heard what I said earlier, David. Potato Head talking about a second pandemic. I said plan, YouTube, pandemic. Before YouTube decides it wants to get rid of me again. I've been watching your videos, Art. They looking good. That we did, Keith. You're welcome, Art. But me doing these preparedness lives, is it to fearmonger? It's to hopefully help people maybe think of something that they haven't thought of before, to add to their preps. Because not every, you know, we don't all know everything. As much as we wish we did, we don't. I mean, sure, there's a lot of channels out there that does do the fear mongering, but that's not something I try to do. Not at all. Cameras to record the damage, absolutely. They're going to lock us up and blow up the world. We all going to die. We all going to die someday, that's for sure. That they are. Well, shoot. I'm playing tag with the comments. I reckon I never really thought about earthquakes because I literally live 2 hours from the ocean. I've thought about hurricanes, thought about tornadoes, fires, big booms. Yes, tsunamis. I ain't really thought of tsunamis because, well, it'd have to be a really, really, really big wave to hit me. All this stuff coming is ideal for them. Keith, I said it right after Potato Head was put in office. Before the midterms, I believe that will be enacted. I really do. But that's just me. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying I believe it will. Because blue hairs gonna do everything they can to sway things their way. And honestly, I'm not liking the way it's looking in Georgia. Right, Keith? Absolutely. Absolutely. Go off grid and take care of what you got. I'm not leaving Earth. Sorry. No. But the way things is looking in Georgia right now, because her choices is between Kemp and Stacey Abrams. Yeah. So I do not with what we went through with Kemp in the last 4 years. He's been so wishy-washy until I don't really want to see him back in office. But I sure in the hell do not want Stacey Abrams in the office. I mean, come on, the woman thinks that you can that the grocery store is the only place you get food from. Her statement was, "Why do we need farmers when we can just go to the grocery store and get food?" And then after she lost the election last time to Kemp, She up and moved to California and offered to pay like-minded blue-haired people to move to Georgia to vote Democratic. So that's what we're fighting here in Georgia. And I've also heard rumors of Texas ceding. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. But in my opinion, if they do, there's a good number of states that needs to go with them. Of Texas leaving the Union. Right, Keith? And you know what? How can you blame them? You heard Florida wants to? Well, we all know that not that long ago, some governors um, I'm trying to remember the name of the term. It's a constitutional term. And my mind's blank. Somebody help me here. It started with Texas, though. Actually, I think it started with Georgia. Anyway, I think it was 23 states, succession of states. That ain't the correct term either. But anyway, they're wanting to have a big powwow to take back control of the states. You know, where states is state leaders are in control of the states instead of the federal convention of states. Thank you, Tiger. I knew somebody knew know what I was talking about. But last I heard, they hadn't got all of the necessary states. They have to have, I think it's a third or a fourth states to sign up for it. And they're getting closer all the time. They definitely need to. Shh. Don't. Lord help. I hit the wrong button. Well, from my understanding, Georgia was one of the ones that started. It started over the whole southern border. Two-thirds of the state. Thank you, Tiger. I was in the process of trying to plug my phone up, not drop the phone, not drop the laptop. Yeah, it was a mess. That's right. That's exactly right, Keith. Course and tactic. Georgia, Alaska, and Florida started it. But if they do seed, Texas is the only state with a power grid. They're the only state with the means to provide electricity, internet, water. If it's, well, either way, whether it's city or county, because you don't have to have electricity to run it either way, unless you have a hand pump. Most states do have their own army. It's the National Guard. Texas and Missouri was 11 and 12. But that's something we don't hear nothing on no more. And truthfully, the only military that the state's governor can order is the National Guard. Awesome, Tiger. If you hear any more on it, let me know. Or let me know how to sign up to get updates on it. Because it's definitely something I'm interested in. You'll let them pass it in your house. You know, we all know what'll happen if the union splits. It'll be that culture walk 2.0 again. And we all know Potato Heads done threatened us with force before. I've seen where he's well, I've heard, where he's made that comment several times, and I've seen, some of his videos on it. Good. If we get the, yeah, we need it passed for sure. Yeah, but David, that's been in ink since right after the CW. And the problem is all they can do is try to limit the Fed. If they refuse to follow it, there will be a new CW. Yeah, absolutely. I believe it, Keith. I believe it. And they're right. The big G is a fraud. Let me ask y'all this. Let's say CW 2.0 does break out. Will it fix things or will it make it worse? And they really don't, David. But if they tax the millionaires, they have to tax themselves. Keith, don't get yourself in trouble, hon. Definitely don't get yourself in trouble. Hey, Yankee Dave, how are you, hon? But yeah, Keith, definitely would be hard pressed to find any info on that one. Taxes are a number one cause for calling the government a fraud pit. I agree. Look at how many people gets away with tax fraud. We need a CW, I believe it's an inevitability. The G needs a total revamp. I agree. I agree, Tiger. I'm glad to hear, Yankee. We went from talking about earthquakes to Civil War 2.0. Oops. Maybe YouTube didn't hear that. But you know what a lot of people forget? Yeah, David, but they're not going to do it. But what a lot of people tend to forget is every state has these groups, and I don't think you're supposed to outright talk about them, but these groups, that are dedicated to their country and the Constitution, and I don't mean military people. Some of them might be former military people, if y'all get my meaning there. And they always tend to forget about these people. If you look at the states that has either already agreed to the convention all right, Keith, I'll be on the lookout for it. But if you look at these states that's already signed up for the convention, or it's in their state houses, look at how many military bases is in each state. Think about the amount of pew pew owners in each of these states. I mean, you look it up, it'll tell you how many registered pew pew owners is in each state, approximately. I agree, Tiger. I completely agree. I mean, some of these people go in office and they are there to the day they die, making millions of dollars. Look at which in charge. You know, old number 3, drunk hag. There's some of them people that's been in there over 60 years. The president has term limits. Why does it Congress and Senate? This is just some things for y'all to think about. And if y'all come across any information, please feel free to send it to me, whether it's by email, text, whatever. We are almost at the 2-hour mark. We got 20 seconds. So I gotta go charge my phone. I want to say I love you guys. Those of y'all that are headed out for the meetup this weekend, y'all please be careful. Enjoy y'all's selves. Drink one for me. And I love you guys. I will be here Friday night. Same time, same place. Y'all have a good night. And if I don't see y'all no more, y'all have a good weekend. Y'all stay prepped up, stay prayed up. And I will see y'all Friday. Love y'all.